I remember when I first started my fitness journey, I would have trouble with tracking my calories because the food that we had at home, or that I had at home, it wasn't in a sense trackable. So every time when I go to the gym, focus on that, but my diet would be very like lackluster because when you're building a perfect body or your aesthetic dream physique, it's 80% diet and 20% gym. And I was focusing on the 20% gym, but not the 80% on diet. And so my diet was very lackluster in the beginning of my fitness journey for one reason, and that was I'm brown. Now, when I say that, I don't mean like, and I'm not trying to be racist towards myself. It's more like the food that we eat at home, in a sense, you can't specifically track it. Like, my parents don't use measuring cups, so it'd be like 1/10 or 1/8 or like 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon of flour. They don't do that. What they'll do is just take a pinch of in Bengali seasoning, put it on, done. They'll cook it. Now they'll taste the food. If it needs more, they'll put more. If it doesn't need more, they'll just leave it as it is. So they would do that for every time for their cooking. And it was really hard to track my calories until I found one simple solution. Really quickly, I just want to tell you about my free community. It's the first link in the description. You get close access to me, a free diet course, and you get a community of like-minded men who's going to push you to become the best version of yourself. Go join right now. The solution is to measure the ingredients in that food while acknowledging that there's going to be a margin of error. So, for example, let's say my parents made meat curry. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna scoop the meat curry, I'm gonna weigh it for up to, let's say, 200 grams. Now, that meat curry, all of it is not just meat. It's meat and some seasonings and like the actual curry itself. So I need to, think intuitively how much that actually is. So what I'll do is so if I put 200 grams of meat curry, what I'll do is just take out 20 calories. So it's more like 180 grams. And that's it. It's that simple. It's just 180 grams of meat. For those 20 grams of curry, I don't track them at all. Mainly because every time I do try to track them, they just happen to be like really small amount of calories. I'm talking like less than 100. And less than 100 isn't significant unless you cut it. Now, let's say it's something more like a new food that you don't know in American, if that makes sense. So something, for me, it would be an example of magur mas. It's a type of fish that my parents eat, and I also kind of ate. And I didn't know this fish in English because I only knew my language is Bangla, so I only knew the language of the name of this fish. So it was magur mas. So I went to Google. Google translated Bangla to English. So I put magur mas, and I got some weird kind of fish. I forgot what it was exactly. I got that. Then I went on Google and Googled 100 grams of magur mas, or the English translation, and searched. It was 100 grams of magur mas with nutrition facts. You can go on Google, do that, and you probably get a way more accurate amount of calories, nutrition, protein grams, carbs, all of that just by Googling. Now, again, you're going to have to acknowledge that there's going to be a margin of error. Ideally, you don't want any of that, but always go 100 higher or lower. So if you think you took like a lot of curry, just assume it's around 100 more calories. If you didn't take any, then you didn't take any. So again, just to recap, you can measure South Asian food. You're just gonna have to acknowledge that you're not gonna get it perfect the first time, and you'll get better after years and years and experience of doing it. It's like a skill. You gotta level it up. You gotta do the hard work, because I've been doing this for about 3 years. I can intuitively tell if what I take is 100 grams of actual meat or 200 grams of actual meat, or if it's like 180 grams with like 20 grams of curry. Like, I can intuitively know that because I've done the work, I've put in the reps, I've done the skill, I've leveled it up where it's like really high. So I know like how many calories it actually is. So again, you're just gonna need to, if this is your first time, you just gotta keep doing it over and over again. You are gonna get better at it. Hell, you might even do it better on the first try. Track your calories. So I'll go back to the example. Meat curry, 200 grams. You take a big spoonful, put it on your bowl, you measure it. If you can see that has like a lot of curry on it, more than the meat, assume the meat's like just less than 150 and the curry is around 50 grams of those 200 grams. So you probably got like 150 grams of meat. But yeah, I hope this video was valuable for you, and I want to thank you for watching it. Have a blessed day.